Time to take a look at the interior of the ST7.
Moving around to the back of the trailer, a couple of really cool features. Reversing camera integrated straight into the Garmin. So the Garmin system is always connected to the trailer and it connects through Wi-Fi, so the range that you have on this thing is absolutely insane. We have a GPS puck mounted up on top of the roof, so all of your navigation, all of your speeds and all of your controls will run through this Garmin, as well as all of your electric systems. So if you can imagine when this is mounted up on your dash with the suction mount holder and you're charging and powered all the time, you've got advantages like when you're backing up, you can flick straight onto the reverse camera. If you're actually just driving down the highway, you can go straight into navigation and run through the Garmin navigation, which is the best navigation in the world, and even for off-road. You can do things like change your airbag height. Let's say that you're on the highway, you're doing 100 kilometers an hour just on the dash. You can put the thing into low mode, drop it down, conserve a little bit of fuel. If you get into a track like you would have seen during the Tasmania series with the ST5, when we were on that crazy track, you can actually pitch the trailer. You can roll it left to right. If you come up around a tight tree or a stump, you don't have to get it out of the car. You can look on the rear view camera, inflate the left or the right side of the airbag, and you can level the trailer. So the advantages of this system is where the technology is really coming into play. The best thing for this is the future-proof ability. The logic that's written into the Garmin, the updates will happen automatically. If we release a new update, a software update at Patriot campers, you'll automatically, when you're connected to Wi-Fi, you'll automatically receive those updates. We can diagnose your trailer directly from here. We can get into the Victron system. So the remote support ability with this system it's just next level.
It is, it's totally a whole new thing. But yeah, like you said, being able to do the automatic updates is a huge thing. You don't have to come back to us, which is great.
So storage at the back, we've had quite a few people ask as far as storage, what can I put on the back? We do have a lot of custom ST5 customers that are running push bikes on the back now. So they stand up all the kids' bikes right along the back, or a full-size bike. You also have the ability on the roof with the XO rack. We've derated the lifting capacity on the ST7. You can load this thing constant at 150 kilos now. 150 kilos, that's quite a few bikes, kayaks, whatever you want to strap up there, and you can lift the roof up and down without even unstrapping them. Starlink sits up on the roof. Do you want to hold that for a sec? Our multi-purpose table, which is wood rack mode. So as you're traveling down a track, if you put it in this section here, you can collect firewood, which is, for us, is still one of those major things now is firewood, where do you put it?
And we always do, because we pull up late. So if we stop anywhere, you know, to do anything, we'll always just grab a few bits of wood and throw it in as we go, so we can have a quick fire before we go to bed.
And then if we drop that down, that turns into a bit of a table there. That chopping board from up the front that I showed you at the barbecue, that fits perfectly on there. Again, filleting fish, if you're having a quick feed in the afternoons. Again, it's a multi-purpose table, so you can use it for whatever you really like. Max Trucks holders at the back. Brand new Max Trucks in white. I think we're the first in the country to get them. So when we actually launched the ST7, we've got a great relationship with these guys. We got an email, hey, we've just had the white shipment land, and we're like, get them down. And I think they drove them down to us the same day, which is really cool. Tail lights at the back. You've got wet storage boxes in the back as well. Patriot staple, they're quite small, but it also gives you access to your actuators for your roof. In the event of a total failure, let's say you did run the batteries down to nothing or something did fail, you can manually crank this roof up and down. Big recovery points at the back and a big steel rear bar at the back. And again, when I get into the chassis, I'll talk about that a little bit more.
I do love the molly panel as well.
Oh yeah.
The amount.
Huge in the US.
Massive. You should see what you can hang off. I didn't actually get the whole molly panel thing, but now it's amazing the amount of things that you can just have hanging off everywhere. So.
It's a standardized military fastening system, and overlanding specifically in the United States has adopted that across pretty much all products, and I'm seeing it everywhere in Australia now as well. So you'll notice there is quite a few locations around the trailer where you see this pattern, the bolt hole pattern and the strapping pattern that you can attach molly accessories. So when it comes to the rear door, it's on gas struts, gas strut assisted. Normally just give it a little bit of a push when it gets to the end. We weight the struts for as much variability as possible, depending on what you load up on the rear and what you're gonna have on there as a constant. The struts will need to be gassed to suit. So that's something for the new customers. If you've got nothing on the back, you'll have a bit more pressure. If you put more weight on the back, you'll need to increase the pressure of the gas struts. But there's mobile guys everywhere around Australia. We've had it done on a trip in the past where I wanted a little bit more gas pressure, and we called into a local town and had someone pressurise them and fill them up for us. So there's a little tip. RGB lighting, you've got your stabiliser crank handle at the back, and you've also got your spreader pole that sits in the middle of the awning. Once again, everything has a place. Everything in this trailer has a place. There are no loose fitments of anything. If it's a specific fitment to the trailer, things like that's your override handle for your awning. If your motor failed on your awning, that you can still manually wind the awning out. We're not delivering these things loose, just lying around in compartments.
Hunting.
Because it's when you need them and you can't find them is when these things really matter. So we've put a lot of work into that, and like I said, warning labels and instructional labels all the way around the trailer is something that we've really focused on. Storage in the back here. We normally chuck our boots in there,
Our boots, yeah, before we jump in the trailer.
So we'll fold down the staircase, jump in here, throw your boots on, throw your boots in here, and they're set for the night. More molly panel in here. I think we need to make this a standard, because I don't think we've had one customer who hasn't optioned the bar in yet.
No, everyone loves it. And like Justin said, you know, sometimes we'll just pull a seat up around here and, you know, not even put the awning out. If we're just having a drink and not, you know, cooking or anything, this is a great spot as well, just to kind of, you know, chill.
This is lockable too. If you're driving into communities where you can't have alcohol, you can lock that stuff away. If your tailgate's open overnight, you can lock it away from the kids or my mates, normally for me. Moving over to this side, we've got fire extinguisher mounted in the rear of the trailer and a fire extinguisher mounted in the front. I think if you know me, and again, you watch Patriot games, fire for me from all my motorsports and off-road racing, and we've had customers that you're going to see a video coming out really soon of a customer that had a fire in a Patriot camper. These things can be lifesavers, and if they're not lifesavers, they can get you out of a lot of trouble. Now in the back, we have a fixed Garmin screen. So one of the concerns for me when it came to the tablet, what happens if you lose it? What happens if you damage it? What if one of the kids stand on it or leave it underneath the tyre? Well, you're never going to be dead in the water. You have a fixed system right here at the back. It's a mirror. The two systems are completely mirrored from each other. So anything you can do from that tablet, you can do from this one here. Opening the rear stairs. It's just as simple as dropping the staircase down. Once again, nothing touches the ground. So everything's straight off the ground, and this is your rear entry door, which gets you straight into the back of the trailer. So what I might do, two-way door as well. So really cool advantage of this, fly screen or fully sealed. So the insulation properties that we can achieve in here, if you're on those nice, beautiful nights, you open up all the windows inside, open the rear door. But if you need the aircon on or you need the heater on, you can keep the thing fully insulated. So setup when it comes to the ST7 is, like I said before, you can do this before you even get out of the vehicle. You can have your little routine that you pull up at camp, and it's really just a matter of pushing the button there. We've designed it that you have to have your finger on and hold the button, but we also have a password lockout. So I can go all the way to the top, put my PIN code in. Nobody, unless they've got the PIN code, can put that roof up and down. So it's a little bit of a safety feature as well. We do treat the inside of the Supertourers as a confined space. You'll see one of the warning labels on the back. Anytime that you enter the trailer or you exit the trailer, we'd like to see everybody have the roof up for safety reasons, but you do have emergency exits that are at the front of the trailer, emergency exits through the window, and same at the rear. We had that customer that was over in the showroom in Las Vegas that said, what if a bear's trying to get into the trailer from the back and attacking me from the back? It's always the bear, right? Yeah.
But I think it's really important to note when people go, oh no, I want a caravan, I don't want to do the setup. Did you just see that? How fast was that?
It's like under 60 seconds, and to put it down, just in case we don't get there in this video, is exactly the same. There's no tucking of canvas. The trick to putting it down is leaving the rear door open. So the pressure of the air's got somewhere to go. You can see we've designed in a big elastic strap that's not very technologically advanced, but 100% works, that will pull all the canvas in when you go up and down. So if you can imagine now, all I need to do now, close the rear door, I hit the button underneath once I detach the awning, fold the awning away, and that's it, we're gone. So there's really no difference between the pop top per se, but the advantages over having that roof height. We designed the Supertourer range, we designed them wholly and solely based around the Land Cruiser range, around a Land Cruiser 250 or a Prado. We don't want the trailer obstructing your ability to venture further or be confident in venturing further. We have our most favourite campsite in the world. You can't get a caravan down in there. You physically cannot get a caravan down into the campsite that we specifically go to because you've got to enter under a lot of big old trees. You look at what we did in the high country, going up the telly track in Cape York. There's so many reasons that the height, aside for the inefficiency that you get from towing, you're physically restricted to some of the areas that you can and can't get into. And that's what keeps this a Patriot camper, and that's why we've gone with this design. So one of the white elephants I'll attack in this video, because we have had a lot of inquiry, are we going to do a hard-sided version in the Supertourer range? And the answer is no. Because once we do a hard-sided version and we get that roof height above the vehicle, it's no longer a Supertourer, it becomes a caravan.
The interior of the ST7, completely different than the ST5. I mean, our kids are all grown up now, so, you know, we don't need some of these features and we haven't optioned them in our ST7, but if the kids were younger, this would be a perfect configuration. If you have a look here, you have a top bunk and it also has the side rail. So, you know, you can put a younger child up there as well and not worry that they're gonna fall out of the bed. Let me just show you quickly so you kind of get the concept and then we'll walk through it. So you've got a bed up the top here. The cafe can also turn to another bed, and then you've got a bed above mum and dad over there. So 3 kids comfortably with mum and dad, camper trailer for 5, easy. And let me walk you through it. Easy as that, you know, during the day. So you've woken up, kids are up, you can just push the bed straight out of the way, and here you've got your breakfast area, little cafe area, or for myself, my little work area. And you can see it's quite spacious. You've got a lot of room in here. You can still leave someone asleep over there, but you know, the space for a family, this is really a great trailer option. So I've shown you the top bunk, which is a very, very cool option, but also your cafe seating can turn into another bed. Let me show you how that's done. You just undo the clips underneath the bench here. That'll drop the table down and allow you to make it into a bed. Simply lift up the seats. There's also storage, a lot of storage internally in here underneath the seats. Which we can just give you a little look in this one. And then there you go, you've got another bed here. All very simple to do. So as soon as the kids get up, you know, it'll only take you a second to be able to fold everything away and, you know, just have the beds completely out of the way. We've also got another bunk up here. Justin and I, we actually do love that bunk. Even though, you know, a kid's not going to sleep up there, Justin will often get up there and, you know, just play on his phone or do whatever. But it's also a great storage space. So we throw our bags up there, I throw my laptop up there, everything as we're traveling. So it just creates more storage inside the ST7. Another feature that I love in the ST7 is the 50-litre fridge that you can see underneath me here. We did mention that you can bring in the induction stove, so you do have the ability to be able to cook internally here. You know, we'll even just keep some cold drinks in there. Sometimes we'll just, you know, pop out the TV that's on a swivel, watch a movie, have a glass of wine. It's actually a really, really great space in here. Another thing that I think is really important to point out is the lighting in the ST7. So I'll grab the Garmin and I'll show you how that works. So just go onto the electrical and you can see all of the lighting. It's really easy to navigate through, and you can work through whatever lighting situation you want. If you're about to go to bed, you want it dimmer. If you're all up in here having a meal, you'll want it brighter. But you know, everything is really easy to work through. There we go, bye. But I love this system. You know, there's no troubleshooting. It's all really, really easy to read. Nighttime, generally, before we go to bed, we'll just have this on either side next to Justin or myself. Sometimes I get up through the night. You can turn that lighting on and turn the lighting off. But there's also a dock internally here. So when you do come in, you know, just to have a meal or anything at nighttime, you can just sit it there. It's out of the way. It's not sitting on the table. Like Justin mentioned, everything's got a place. Storage is a big thing for everyone. You know, even if you're going the X range, ST5, ST7, everyone asks about storage space. So there is, as we mentioned, ample storage space in the ST7. You have storage under the bed, which I'll quickly show you through. In compartment here. So lots of storage that you have in there. You've also got your overhead compartments. We use these for clothing, so you know, his and hers, which work really well. You've got side compartments up next to the bed. We keep water bottles, I keep toiletries, things like that in those compartments, and pockets throughout. So there is, you know, a lot of space to be able to put any of the bits and pieces that you have, or any of the kids' games, things that they access often. Another big storage compartment just on the side box here. And then you've got your drawers. So if you're cooking internally, might be a good space to have some extra cookware in here. But lots and lots of storage in the ST7. So if you do have 3 kids, you'll know you do need the storage space. You'll have all the games, the colouring, things like that. So them to be able to easily access things is important as well. The sink here, love the sink. So kids brushing their teeth, you brushing your teeth. There's also more storage underneath here. And so you can keep your toothbrushes, toiletries, or also back here, sometimes we have the toothbrush holder in there and the kids, you know, toothbrushes are in that section. Probably good to point out here, so your air conditioning. So you can have your air conditioning set on AC or also just on a fan. So you'll find the AC will go all the way over the bed, look after the kids and yourself from over here. And on the floor, we also have the heating. So very similar, but the heating runs from the floor, the AC runs from up here, and all operated from the Garmin as well. Favorite feature is definitely in the ST5 and ST7 is the bathroom. I love this bathroom. There is nothing worse than, you know, we've had a few boats, the wet area. After someone has a shower and you need to go to the bathroom and you have to get in that area to go to the bathroom, it's not fun. So the way that it's been designed is you can actually have a shower as it's situated here. You can get in there, lots of room for everyone. You sit in, have a shower, no problem at all. But as you know, this area would all be very wet. So if one of the kids needs to go to the bathroom or you need to go to the bathroom, it's as simple as flipping over this top. And you can see that will show a completely dry area and get rid of all of the drainage or anything that's underneath there. And you've got a great dry space inside here. One of the great features, and I think all of our customers always talk about this bathroom, You've got your lighting in here, towel rail, and you can also open up the canvas if you want as well. I mean, it's a good height, no one's going to see anything, and you're always outdoors anyway. So, flooring options in the ST7, there's some great options. You can just have your bare floor, or you can have your clip-in flooring. So you can have your carpet or your infinity grass.
Forget the carpet.
Forget the carpet?
You don't want carpet.
Forget the carpet. This is where it's at.
And do you know how long it took me to find that product? Do you remember? Months.
Is
months.
the best thing.
Months.
Carpet, I mean, even at home, you know, having to vacuum through. When the kids are running in with sand and the grass and all of that, you cannot pick it out of the carpet.
This is a must-have option on the ST7.
I just baby wipe it.
You can baby wipe it, you can gurney it out, it won't hold any water, it won't rot, it's just that the product is unbelievable, and it's got like I think it's about 6 mil thickness, and how that feels under bare feet is just...
You can blow dry it out too.
It's a marine product, very, very expensive marine product, and I found it on a boat at a boat show when I was out looking for fittings for the ST7. It took me months to hunt it down, and we started importing it. And construction-wise, the interior of this is, I think a lot of people so far have been blown away, and especially with the ST5. Everything that you see in here, all the cabinetry in here, it's all aluminium. Everything is aluminium, and all powder-coated aluminium. We have the accreditations that we have from the powder suppliers next door at Patriot, you know, with the longevity that we're getting out of our external finishes, our internal finishes now, and the work that the team have put into, you know, the quality systems in place, and obviously the controlling of the technology of the way we apply the powder to get this finish. Everybody is just absolutely blown away. The whole interior is structurally fastened together, the whole interior, and it makes up a lot of the body structure. There is not a piece of timber or anything that could be affected by water or rot anywhere in the construction when it comes to the Supertourer range. Our floor is fully infused composite, not laminated fiberglass, infused composite panel. And then we obviously have the laminated fiberglass walls, which gives the insulation properties that we need. We actually had a customer who came in over Christmas that his only sticking point was the canvas and the efficiency of the air conditioning. We came down here, we wheeled the thing out into the garage and to the car park on a 40-degree day, and we sold the air conditioning, and we ran it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and we ran it up, and he was absolutely blown away. But the whole thought process between the heating and not just the thought process, because we've proven it, the heating and the air conditioning are very, very strategically placed inside. Hot air rises, cold air falls. Yeah, you can't stop that. That's just the way that the science works behind it. So all of the ducting that you see around the floor is all of your hot air. And then we've got the cold air up as high as we can, but that's also been positioned in ST5 and ST7 that it blows straight across the bed. If you don't need air conditioning running, and a question that we've had asked from customers is, oh, what about ceiling fans? We don't need any ceiling fans, because you put the air conditioner just into fan mode, and it will blow ambient air directly out of these vents straight across the body of the interior of the trailer. So there's so much thought and testing and technology that's gone into this thing that nobody in the industry's really done. The reason we have the air conditioning down low, you have a 20-kilo air conditioner up on the roof. It's susceptible to damage if it catches a branch or a tree, but we're very focused from the start of the Supertourer design on keeping the center of gravity as low as we can. That unit weighs about 20-odd kilos, and the air conditioning unit is actually down on the floor. The batteries are strategically placed right across the front of right in front of the front axle. So there's all of the weight and balance that we put into the trailer, with the addition of the trinamic suspension to get this thing to move how a modern day trailer should move. It comes at a big expense of time and cost, and the materials that we've chosen right throughout this thing is just, it still blows me away.
Yeah.
It blows me away that the company is here now in such a short period of time, and what we're achieving, and how we can look at everything a little bit left field and take all of our experience of everything that we've done and everything that we've learnt over the years, and then get the technology of the engineering department and the dedication of the production teams to push that boundary as far as we can and come up with a product like that.
Feedback.
Who would think that in a million years that's aluminium? You know, the radius folds, the equipment that we have. I mean, I can talk about this stuff for hours, and this is my passion. This is the layout. That's all her. The construction, That's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of trips around the world, a lot of weekends spent at boat shows and caravan shows and home shows, and you know, the stuff that we do on the weekends all leads back to the product that we deliver to the customers, and I think it's really apparent. One of the things that the rear access, that's probably one of the things that took us the longest time before we even started the design. We did it all in model space. Me and the engineering team, the cardboard cutouts that we made of the back and the modification of the door heights, because the compromise of that door height, of getting the trailer to sit so low but still having such an easy transition out of the trailer, it's the little things that you probably don't think about that take the most amount of time. But the way that the angle's been designed and the way that the stairs are to lead your head in through that front door, and same when you're coming back out of it, there's just hours and hours of time there, right?
Yes. I hope you loved the walkthrough of the interior of the ST7. Now in the next video, you're going to see Justin take you through the service module and the suspension, kind of his baby.
I think you've shown everybody what drives you when it comes to remote destination. Traveling, being comfortable in the interior layout, I think we've absolutely nailed it. But in this next video, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into what makes up the technology and the engineering behind the Patriot Campers Supertourer range. A lot of new innovations, I think, for the industry, showcasing what Australia is capable of doing. This is something I'm extremely proud of, and I can guarantee you this is going to be a long one, so make sure you're in a comfortable seat. We'll see you there.